Hi everybody. Today we're gonna do something fun. We're gonna do a get ready with me, and when I get my makeup on, we're just doing the whole thing. I'm gonna take you in the bathroom with me, and I'm gonna show you the hair I'm gonna wear today. So we'll do that together for those of you that love to see that, and maybe you're helper hair wearers as well, and you like to, you know, you're curious to see new ways that you can wear your wigs. So the wig that I am going to be wearing today is Simmer Elite by Raquel Welch, and you're going to want to know the color, and I'll tell you that when I get in the bathroom because the box is in there, because I don't remember what it is. It's not Shaded Biscuit, but it is a very cool, very light color. It's not that. So if you're not into that, then you don't have to watch the end, but I do hope that you'll stick around for my get ready with me. Okay guys, so if you watched my car chat, then you know that I moved into a new place. This is a small apartment, and I don't have my recording room ready to go. Right there is my black background. I thought about putting that up, but then I can't find the stand that I need to attach it to, just to kind of, you know, until I get this stuff. Well, this isn't so bad. Oh, and then we have Mr. Depp, this Johnny Depp I've had forever. It was hung up in like way back when in like our movie room. This is one of my all-time favorite Johnny Depp movies is Benny and June, and this is going in here. It's the only poster, the only one that I want, and so that's gonna be in here. Anyway, I know you guys are already complaining, Jill, you need to be quiet. Let's get going. Got my, just got out of the shower. My hair is quite wet still. Got my skincare on. All right. Yes, I have gained weight. We can see it. It's there. It's fine. I know it's a temporary setback. It's a temporary sort of thing. That's fine. I'm just coming out of this sort of place where I feel like I'm getting close to wanting to finally commit to doing something about that. But I'm not quite there yet. So why I bring this up is because I do my makeup a little differently when my face is a little bit more round, and because I've gained this weight later in life and I'm the heaviest that I have ever been. You know, my skin doesn't have that elastin and the collagen, that great foundation. So I am sagging a little more, you know, than when I was probably 10 pounds lighter, but still heavy. You know, I didn't really, this wasn't such a big thing then. I just sort of got rounder as the fat pads, you know, in my face filled out, which I must say, that isn't a bad thing. I actually like when my face is a little filled out, a little, you know, a little bit more round than say when I was at my thinnest, because of the fat pads. And it's just gives you a more youthful appearance, and I enjoy that. So there's a positive, you know, there's always a positive. Today, I'm actually gonna be using my Farrah. This is beautiful foundation, and I haven't looked in a long time, but I'm hoping there are by now maybe more choices in the color choices of this line, because they were very, very small. And still, I couldn't find a good match for myself. So, especially in the winter, I have a little more luck because it's still a little bit lighter when I mix, but I can't use one by itself because this one's a little too orange, this one's a little too light. So I'm just gonna mix them up like I have been doing, but it's beautiful. I'm gonna give you a tip though, if you wanna try this. Number one tip, get it off Amazon. I'll give you a link down below. It's much, much cheaper to get it there than if you were to go on their website. At least that's what it was like. Significantly cheaper. So there'll be a link down below where you can just go right to this. The other tip though I have is more of an application tip, because if you are over 50, I highly recommend using a really, you know, sort of super hydrating moisturizer. I personally like using oil blends and really juice up your skin before you apply this, because if you're over 50, if you don't do that, it might end up being, it has a beautiful finish, but still it dries off. So it's gonna stay on your skin for a very long time. It's practically waterproof. I mean, it's beautiful, but it will highlight any dryness. It'll highlight the crepiness and any sort of dehydration, those little dehydration lines. So hydrate, seal the hydration in, and then go ahead and use this. And if you want to know what I used, I will put that down below. It's my Rhonda Allison go-to. I've used it for decades, and it's their peptide 38 serum, along with about 2 drops of the pumpkin E serum. You can either mix it up, press it on, or do one after the other. If you do that, make sure you do the pumpkin E serum, which is more of an oil-based serum, after the water-based serum, which is the peptide 38. And that's what I have on my skin. I did use the peptide 3-in-1 eye cream. That has been truly my go-to, again, for decades. I have another really nice go-to that I use in my eyes. It just doesn't have quite the amount of peptides and actives. So if you use it over a long period of time, you're going to get accumulative results that are going to quell some of the aging that happens. And anyway, that's my little skincare rant, if you will. So I am going to go ahead and let's see which one we have. Okay, so the 2 colors that I have that work okay for me is, this is the lighter one, and it is number 101. This is the porcelain. And then I add nude, which is the 102. So if you're quite fair like me, you might try that combo. If you have a little more of a peachy, beautiful peachy creamy fair complexion, you might get away with just using the 102. And if you are even a little darker, they have a peachy one that's beautiful. It's just too peachy for me. It doesn't work for me. So I'm going to start with the 101, and then I'm going to add pretty much equal parts. I think that'll make it easy if I have to go in for some more. I'll just do 1 pump of each and mix this right on my hand with my sponge. And I mean, just look at my hand. It's a beautiful finish, good coverage, excellent coverage. You could build this even to a heavy coverage. That's how buildable this particular foundation is. I mean, look at that, just erases everything. So why am I all about this one? Well, I don't like heavy coverage because I don't like to feel it on my skin. I feel it all day. I feel like it looks heavy, and I just don't like it. I don't mind having some of my imperfections show, but I tell you what, this gives you the heavy coverage, medium-ish to heavy coverage. You can make it heavy if you want, but I don't feel it on my skin. Yes, it covers more than probably any other foundation I have, but I don't feel it. It doesn't feel heavy, you know, on my skin. And so I kind of get the best of both worlds with this foundation. All right, I'm gonna do, this is one of my all-time faves. I really like this. This is the Lancome Tint Idol concealer. Sorry, I'm a little out of practice. It's been a while since I've recorded. So I'm going to be using this. This is definitely super great coverage. So we'll stick with that. And goodness knows I have a lot to cover. But, okay. This is probably going to be kind of a long video because I am going to take you through this look as well as my wig application. And then what I like to do is just with the heat, natural heat of my finger, I'm just going to press this in. It is a little heavier, you know, than the Winky Luxe Peeper Perfect. So I just like to press it into that crepiness a little bit there. Right. We're going to pull this. This is my Patrick Ta. I love this. It is a cream contour. And if you're new to contouring, I highly recommend this. I highly recommend a cream contour that's a nice quality. It's not just grease paint, but it's a nice quality. So there'll be some staying power, because when you use a cream contour, it's just sort of, it's an easy application. You know, it's cream. If it's really a nice quality, it's going to just blend right on out. And it's just the way to go. If you're new to makeup, or you're just revisiting makeup again, you're curious about the contouring, because I want to tell you, contouring when you're over 50, to me, is key. It's really amazing, because you then have defined what you may have lost when it comes to contour in your face. You hide things you don't like. It's subtle. It's so subtle, you're thinking, I don't think this is doing anything, but you would be surprised. And then you have you've applied the contour that maybe has been erased, either because you do like to wear heavier foundations. So it takes away that natural contour where the light, sort of goes in and all of that. So you want to re-put that in there. But more importantly is, our contours tend to move, where the natural sort of bone structure is in the skin is just ever so slightly going down. So we can give ourselves a little bit of a youthful look, a more youthful appearance, when we really hone in our contouring skills, which is nuttin'. I mean, it is so easy, you guys. It doesn't take, you're just adding a couple minutes to your application in the morning or whenever you do your makeup. Then you got that in there. You'd be surprised. You don't have to contour with your blush now. Your blush is all about a flush of color, and that's it. And I happen to believe that is the way to go as you get older, is less is best. But what I mean by that is more of a simplicity to what is happening here. So let's get going on this. All right. I hope they still have this. I will try to find it, and I'll put the link to it. This is an IT Cosmetics brush, and I have used this so much. It's held up really well. It's held up through a lot of washings, but I love it because I can contour with this side and then do my nose, with this side. Okay, what I love about this particular, because this comes in different shades, I'm fair. I have to be really careful about the contour, because if it is too bronzy, it can look really orange on me, and it's unnatural. It's an unnatural contour color. And if it's too cool, it'll look dirty. And again, it's sort of an unnatural. This is perfection. Perfection. So this is a cream, and then this is a powder. This is more of a sort of a highlighter. I do use this, but in the summer, because it gives me more of that golden hue, that glow of summer, and it is very pretty. But I tend not to use this in the winter and fall. So I'm going to go ahead and load this right up. So I'm going to just go ahead and give my forehead some contour. And I want the center of my face to remain bright, but I'm going to contour the outskirts. Imagine drawing on a piece of white paper, face shape, right? Just an oval face shape, like you're going to be doing a charcoal drawing. And how do you bring a flat oval into more of a 3D sculpted look on a blank white piece of paper? You contour, you push it out, you bring it into more of a 3D appearance. And really, that is what we're doing here, is we're creating, more of a contour. Yes, we naturally are 3D, but we are manipulating to our liking, really using our own natural bone structure, yes, but also we can, lift that up too. And honestly, the power of contouring is so underrated, I think. And there is a rhyme or reason to it. So not everybody should necessarily contour in the same way, but I feel like it's pretty intuitive. You know, if you have a very short, you know, sort of forehead, then obviously you're not gonna really need to contour up here. I have a tall forehead plus a receding hairline. So when I get my wig on, I correct that, but I also want, you know, this bit of sort of warmth and contouring here in my tall forehead. All right, so now I'm just real quickly, I'm going to contour down in here. The younger crowd is going to tell you to go right underneath your jawline. Okay, well, my jawline goes like this. My jawline is no longer going like this. So I want to give the illusion that we have a little less of that going on. So I am going to go right over the top of that. I'm going to follow my chin and just take it to the tip of my ear and kind of let the light fall in here. Let that light hide and just disappear right about here rather than right about here. So again, it's very, very slight, but powerful. So again, this is where I'm getting really droopy. This extra weight really, you know, so I am going to do that right here. And then I'm going to bring this also sort of down in the chest, and the rest of that's on here, I'm just going to kind of, you know, just bring it around, and we're going to do that. All right, I'm going to go in now with the smaller, I don't know why I just did that, I'm going to go in with the smaller bit, and I am going to contour my nose. Again, your nose is probably totally different. So you may not need to contour your nose. It might be perfectly perfect. I just feel like my nose is a little broad, you know, and I feel like it's a little bit broad through here. So I just like to make it look a little bit more like it has, you know, maybe right through here rather than so broad. So I do that. This is day wear, by the way. You could go a little heavier with your contour in the evening, but this is daytime. And you gotta be mindful of that. Take a look at what you look like, you know, out in the real daylight. Now, why do I bring my contour all the way up in here? Because I feel like if I stop right here, it's almost gonna look like a contour, like if I stop my contour right here, I just feel like it doesn't have a natural look. It almost looks cartoon character-like. So I do like to bring it. Plus, I'm a little broad through here, so I want to bring that in a little and really, you know, give the illusion that I might not be quite that way. Now, if your nostrils really flare out, you can add a little bit of this too, right there. And just play with it, it's fun. If you have the time, play with your contouring because my goodness, and take pictures because you will be surprised at the power of it. Okay, so I'm done with my contour. I am now gonna take this big, huge, sort of kabuki-ish brush because I am really lightly gonna blend this out. Just really lightly, barely touching the skin because this is a cream. Will it last all day? Yeah, it really does. Today I'm going to be working out of the Big Ego palette by Tarte. Here's what we have going here. And I am going to take my pinky and I want to brighten right in here. So I'm going to take my pinky and I'm going to grab some of this. I'm going to take this part, set it here and pull the crepiness taut And then I'm going to lay that right where I want it, and then just kind of do this. And you can do that more than once. I think once might be good. I just want some brightness there. Maybe I'll do, yeah. I'm going to do that one more time on each side, I think. I'm going to grab some on the tip of my pinky and just run it underneath my eyebrow. I wait to do my eyebrow at the very end of my eye look. In here is a beautiful silver. You know how I like my sparkle. I am a rule breaker. I don't believe in rules. There's so many rules when you're over 50. If you're on YouTube and you follow a lot of there's so many rules that they put on us. Over 50, don't do this. Okay, just do what you love. Do what makes you feel good. So look at that. I really loaded the heck out of that. So I hope I don't have a ton of fallout. But I'm going to put this right, oh my Lord, is that gorgeous. Oh, yes, I did have some fallout. I'm going to put that right in the middle. Wow. Oh gosh, the payout of that is spectacular. Might be dealing with some silver sparkle. It's a little chunkier than I'm used to, but it is pretty, but it is a little bit chunky. A little warning there for you. I'm going to try to really press it. If I used some eyelid primer, like my Rare Beauty is my go-to, but I ran out and I haven't used it in so long, you would have a lot less of this fallout because you'd be able to press it right on and it would stick really well. That is so, so pretty. Next, I'm going to go here. Now, this isn't a chunky sparkle, but hold on, I'm going to make sure my ring finger is clean. And yes, I'm still using my fingers, but it is a really pretty sort of metallic-ish, buttery consistency there. So I'm actually going to put this at the end, and I'm going to pop it in right there, and I'm going to bring that right on up. I'm going to blend this, yes, but sometimes it just pays off you get more payoff if you use your finger with these types of colors. And yes, I am getting fallout. All right, I'm going to grab this here blending brush that is my go-to. I don't really think it's designed to be a blending brush, but that's what I've deemed it in my collection. Now, whenever I wear silvers, grays, anything in that palette, I always like to do some warmth. So I'm going to go in now with this hair color. And I'm going to grab a really fluffy dome brush. So I think I'll grab this one here. And I'm going to load that up and knock it off. And I am going to add some warmth right here at the top of this look. Reloading. And pretty much applying that in the center here. If you want to bring it up a little higher, you certainly can. Otherwise, if I don't add a little warmth to the grays and the silvers, man, I look like I'm very drawn and my eyes look like they have really bad dark circles that I try to hide as much as I can. And then my blending brush. And yet it's not like it's super warm, but it definitely gives me a better sort of look. All right, I am now going to do something underneath my eye. This is an e.l.f. brush. So I think it came with 2 others. I bought it years ago. Very inexpensive, but just something that you have a lot of control over. Those bristles are really shoved down in there. So, you know, we have a lot of control here. And I'm gonna actually grab that last sort of warmth color, which is this one. I'm gonna grab this one here. Load that up, tap it off. And I'm gonna put that and tap that underneath the lower lash line. And I'm even going to blend it down a bit just to give some softness. It will also open my eye up as well. If you want to close your eye, which we don't, you know, you would just put a skinny dark line, but we're not going to do that. I think the trick to wearing color under your lower lash line when you get a little older is to soften it and bring it down lower than you think you should. You could have the majority of the pigment up there at the top, but you know, it really soften it as it comes down. And it does give the illusion your eyes are a little bigger. And soft is the operative word as we get older. Blending is key with every single thing you do. Okay. All right, I think we're done with the eyeshadow. I am gonna curl the lashes. That is a must for me because, you know, I say this a lot, that everything, you know, because of good old gravity, everything is going south, including the tissue, the eye tissue of your eyelid. And as it goes down, it pushes down your eyelashes. And they, you know, if you haven't noticed, they eventually just point straight down. So to open our eye up, it's so crucial to go ahead and do a soft curl. I really like this mascara a lot, and it's by Swede Beauty. I like the applicator. It really separates while it builds, and I appreciate the volume it gives me. To be honest, I am more about volume versus just length. Yes, I want both to happen, but I don't like spider leg thin, super long eyelashes either. You know, when it, like, yes, I want some length, but I gotta have some volume as well. All right, next is brows. So I'm gonna comb any powder, anything, foundation out of my brows here first. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my $1 Billion Brow powder in Taupe. I really kind of wanna go in a little light. I don't wanna get carried away, but I do have to have a little of this because I am bald in some spots. This side isn't so bad when it comes to that, but my left side is a whole other ball of wax. So this side is like pretty easy. I do have a bald spot like right in here, but for the most part, it's pretty dang easy. This, I have bald spot here, here. I have hardly anything right here. Oops. So it is a whole different situation. But I want to be careful that I don't get it too dark because I don't like that look either. This is probably the part of my makeup routine that I have tweaked the most as I've gotten older. I've just had to add more and more products just to get my brows to look decent. And that's mainly because I do think brows make your whole look. So I try to really do the best I can with giving myself nice brows. And hopefully they don't look too made up, but I know they do because it's just what happens, you know? It's just what happens. Look how easy this one was. It was so easy. So then I want to make sure that we're in the same ballpark when it comes to how much of that I used. Because then I like to define what I do have. The brow hairs that I do have, I like to put some tinted brow gel on there. And I think I'm going to go down a shade when I run out of this. It's a way I'm going to tweak it as I've gotten a little grayer and older. So this is 4.5. I think I'm going to go down, and I'm not sure what color yet, how far down I want to go, but I do like it to be darker than the powder that I use, because that is what I think gives dimension, and it helps to give me a more natural look. This was a brow game changer when I added tinted brow gel to my brow game. Otherwise, it just looks really, even if, you know, I would always use like a clear brow gel, but it just looked really flat and powdered, and this just sort of like gave it some dimension. And also, if you have white brow hairs, this will cover them, and it just like includes them now into your shape, you know, your brow shape. And gosh, we need all the brow hairs we can get. So I'm not going to tweeze those white ones. Now, see, this is a little darker, so I think I'm really gingerly going to try to just kind of get it a little less. And so I think I might just add a smidge more over her. And then I'm going to comb through that, soften that up. And once I get things where I want it, then I will seal the deal with a clear brow gel, because now I can actually manipulate each individual brow hair exactly where I want it, and it is there to stay all day. So I like to pull these in this way. I think it's a natural look. And then I like to do these up. So I like these this way, these up. Now you can't play with this once it sets. It's just there. And what you'll end up doing is flattening it out with this gel, and it's an awful look. So once it's sealed, it's done, and it doesn't take long. So it's like boom, 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 done. So I love it though. I really love this. I need some color to my face. So let's do that. I always look to see if I can find a blush color in my eyeshadow palettes. And I feel like I'm going to try this one, which is a mauve-y, but I don't think it'll be too mauve-y once I get it on. All right, so I love this one. It's tapered, it's small. I can generally get it in these little palettes. So I'm gonna do this here. And we'll do that because I just want to put this right there, and then I'm going to bring it straight back on my actual cheekbone. I'm not going to bring it down here, and I'm not going to bring it up there. I'm going to do it right on top of my cheekbone, leaving this out. I like to add whatever the color is that I use on my cheeks up there and across my chin, and sometimes even across my nose. Because again, I'm looking more for a natural look when it comes to the cheeks. Alrighty. Might even take what's left and just kind of do that. I think it just brings the whole thing together. Now we're down to the lips. Now, before I go on, I'm just gonna blend because I think it's so important to do that. And I'm just lightly touching the skin. Yep, Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude is my absolute favorite. This color works with just about all the lipsticks I have, pretty much. There are a couple exceptions, but they usually are the ones I don't grab anyway. So we're gonna line with this. I've not found a dupe for this formula. I have found fairly close dupes to the Iconic Nude color, but man, I haven't been able to find. This is dry, but not overly dry. I can't use creamy lip pencils. They just do nothing for me. You know, I need a fence that's gonna hopefully help to keep my, you know, lipstick from traveling where it's not supposed to, but I want defined, you know, and this is just beautiful. Honestly, in all of these years, I bought this over and over, but I only own one other of her color. As much as I love the formula, you would think I would have all the colors, but this just works so well for me. So I always soften. All right. I'm going to be using a Charlotte Tilbury JK Magic. It's a nude, but it's quite pretty. And then I will put a tiny little bit of gloss on this as well. I'm going to go in with the Anastasia lip gloss. This is Venus. It's one of my favorites. And I'm just going to put it in the center because if I put it all over, it's going to end up all down in there. Okay, we're done with the makeup. So if you are interested in the whole helper hair thing, then I'm going to say goodbye to you right here. And thank you so much for watching it this far. I appreciate it. But next, let's go in my bathroom and get the hair. So is my hair all the way dried? No, it isn't. So I'm going to blow dry my hair first because don't wear damp hair under your wig. Your hair is going to stink. You're going to make your wig stink. It's not even healthy for your scalp. So definitely make sure your hair is dry. So I'm going to do that right now. I need you like I need air to breathe. I need you to save me from me. So all I do to prep my hair, to put my wig on, because I can't wear any sort of wig cap. I'm just a super sensitive person and I feel everything. And it's a miracle that I'm able to even wear wigs, but you know, I do. And you know, as I get more used to wearing them, because if I go a long span of time without wearing them, then I have to almost retrain myself to get used to having them on my head. And that's kind of where I'm at now. And the way that you do that really is by trying to keep them on as long as you can during the day, even if you're home and you don't plan on going anywhere, but you still want to feel good. That's what I'm going to be doing, is to try to get myself to get used to them again, because I feel so much better when I have them on. And now I know a lot of you are like, Jill, it looks like you could totally be okay without any wigs. But it is just an illusion, honestly, because Most of my thinness, honestly, is well, it's everywhere, but is the top of my head. If I were to pull all of my hair back, I have the littlest bit of a ponytail, but you know, I no longer can really do much with my hair. You know, I can't do bangs. I don't have, you know, enough hair here to do it. I certainly don't have enough hair to create a style really of any kind. You know, lift, I've done hot curlers and it just turns into cotton candy. And if I go outside, it's gone. Just so it's beyond styling anymore. How I have been living my life in the last couple months is just wearing my own hair back in a ponytail, but it is not, I don't feel that great doing this. I don't feel put together even if I have my makeup on. So that's, you know, the choice of every individual and why they decide to wear helper hair. It's different with all of us, and there's just truly no wrong reason. So low ponytail, ugh. So I do a low ponytail and one clip. And that's what I do. I don't like to put my low ponytail too tight because I do have a lot of low, you know, like nape hairs through here. And if it's too tight, it hurts. And I don't want that to happen. So I do like to wear it, you know, secure, but I have to be careful. And if it's too tight, I let it go a little bit, and then maybe I'll do this just to get those little sensitive ones not so tight. And then I just simply, I put this up. That's all I do. I'm going to wear a wig grip today. If I were going to be out and about or at a, you know, going somewhere and it was going to be really an all day thing, then I would wear It Stays adhesive and roll it, you know, in the front and a little here on the side, and the low ponytail like this. And just when I put it on, I just secure it there because that's the most comfortable way for me to wear a wig. And then I don't have this on or anything. But this wig grip here is my favorite. It tapers by the time it gets behind the ear. It's tapered, and you can make this, you know, as tight or as loose as you need. I usually put mine on the tightest. It just moves over time, and it is just the most comfortable one. It's also quite thin. Here is a regular wig grip. This is a lace front wig grip kind of thing. But do you see how they're much bulkier? This is actually quite a bit thicker even, and they're not my go-to. They're just uncomfortable. It's just another layer, and this I barely feel, yet it still does its thing. You know, you do have to have something to anchor the back under. That's why I have a little bit of a ponytail here, and make sure that this little label is always on the right side. Then you'll have the, you know, sort of nap of this fiber working for you, because it should stick to your own hair, and it should also stick to the wig and keep your wig from falling off. So I just gotta bring it back until I see my own hair there. Make sure I don't have it nudged completely in the back of my ear, because that's uncomfortable. So we have that. So this is Simmer Elite. I was going to tell you the color. The color is SS Ice Latte Macchiato. Very cool color. And then I just lift it and put it where I want it. If I don't lift it, it's gonna move my wig grip, and we don't want that to happen. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna put that right where we want it. Wide tooth comb. Now this style, the flyaways drive me nuts. So I do have to use product to eliminate, well, help it. I've not tried anything that has completely eliminated those flyaways. And I've tried it all, guys. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out some of my hair. I find shaded biscuit, this color, even shaded cappuccino works really well with those of us who are graying and have, you know, that sort of more of a cool, I like to call it mousy brown, you know, hair. It just blends really nicely with that situation. So I do like to pull some of my hair, not even very much, but just a little bit. Okay, so this is a beautiful piece, absolutely gorgeous. Let me make sure that my wig is over my ponytail back there. And I want to make sure that both the wig grip and or the wig isn't nudged up against the back of my ear, because that drives me nuts. Okay, feels good, feels great. So how I could just wear it like this and just sort of like tuck it and spray it and call it good, but I even want more of a casual type of thing going on. So let's just see what's going to happen here. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is let a little bit happen, maybe here in front, some softness, if you will. And because this is 100% hand tied, we're not going to have any kind of wefts to worry about that might be showing. And so I'm going to grab a pretty good chunk. I don't have to necessarily go too far back though. All right, so I'm going to deal with that first, and I'm just going to pin that up here. No wefts also mean you don't have any wefts to grab onto when you do stuff like this. So be very careful that you're not doing anything to that beautiful lace, but I just put one on both sides and it will keep it there just fine. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna clip this kind of a little behind the ear. Careful with that beautiful hand-tied cap. I'll do again a little behind, being real careful. Where is it wanting to go? All right, I'm just gonna I always do a perusal before I start my day, just to make sure everything's okay. Good luck when I decided to not put it back. All right. I'm a little out of practice with that as well, because I have not been wearing my helper hair for these last few months, and I have not been wearing makeup either. It's like, why? I'm packing, I'm loading, I'm going up and down the stairs, I'm sweating buckets. You know, every day I'm doing something very physical, trying to get things under, you know, getting things done. And so things are sort of evening out now, and I really want to give myself the gift of feeling my best every day again. I think it's super important to my mental health, and I've been neglecting that. I've just been doing everything I can to do what I have to do that day, you know, and I am proud of myself for that. You know, I did this whole thing by myself, packed, moved, you know, just cleaned the other place and took my time and made it all happen. So I'm proud of myself for that. But it's time now to get back to the routines of life that are important. I'm not a big, huge routine person. Like, I don't get up at the same time every day. I don't go to bed at the same time every day. I am not a get out of bed, get in the shower, get my makeup on, start my day that way. I'm a very slow to go person in the morning. And anyway, this is really important for my mental health, is to make sure I try to do this now on a regular basis. I know this was a very long one, and I appreciate you so much for tuning in, and I hope you weren't disappointed in this video today. Again, it's been a long time since I've recorded, and I'm a little out of practice, so have a little patience with me for that. But I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.